This video is for people that have N1 powered Macs or Apple Silicon Macs. So virtual machine and VMware Workstation will install on these Macs, but you won't be able to run any VMs because there are no ISOs or installation files available for Apple Silicon Macs for a guest operating system. Now we will cover a lot more of this in OFS, but for you guys that want to start, there is a workaround and it's called UTM. And it's a type of virtualization software that we don't really use at Norov, but in this instance, I'm going to show you how to use it so you can get a handle on playing around maybe with VMs on your M1 Mac. So if you go to the app, the links will be in Discord. You will see there's a bunch of operating systems that you can use. Now, in this instance, we are interested in Windows 10 ARM. You can go for the rest as well. If you want to play with Ubuntu or Debian or whatever, you can do that. But in this case, we're going to go for Windows 10 ARM. You see, it will tell us it's for the ARM architecture, how much memory they recommend. I'm going to use less because I don't have that much. The disk space required, the type of display driver, and if there's spice tools. This will help you set up better resolution and stuff. So, first thing you need to do is download the UTM for Mac and the spice guest tools. Now, I've also hosted this for you on Mega, and the link will be shared. And once you have the link, downloaded the zip file and extracted it, will look like this. Now, it's important to note, if you have this file that I made for you, you don't need to download Windows for ARM. I'm going to say that again. You do not need to download Windows for ARM because the Windows for ARM file looks like this when you download it. And you can't use it. It looks like that. It's a VHDX file. You can only mount that in Windows hypervisors. And we don't have that on Mac, obviously. So instead of wasting your time, I have set up a tool that can convert this file to this file format that we can use in UTM. Now, if you really want to, I can link you on how to do that yourself. But it's a bit technical and you need to install a bunch of stuff in the terminal to get it going. So to save time and confusion, I'm just going to give you the file. So once you've downloaded this, you will have these three things. Now, first thing you need to do is install this. Double click it, install it. It will give you this, the UTM tool. Right. And keep that handy because you're going to need that. Keep that handy because you need that. And you will see they've got a whole instruction guide here. Tell you how to do it. But if you go to the bottom, they will have a little disclaimer about using the ISO and it going corrupt. So again, I converted the VHDX image to a CQOW2 image just to save you having to do this. You're welcome to do it, but why do it? Why waste time if you don't have to? So just follow my method. So let's go to the top again. So the first thing they say we need to do after setting everything up is create a new virtual machine. So let's do that. Create a new virtual machine. There we go. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Windows 10 ARM for OFS. And I will do a video in OFS that explains the difference between ARM and x86, x86, 64, and CISC and RISC and all that. So you don't have to worry about that yet. You can pick an icon, which is nice. So I'm going to pick a Windows icon here. Of course, we're going to install Windows. Then on system, this we need to change. We are not using x86. We are using ARM rather. There's ARM. And that's fine because that's the latest one. And here it's going to ask how much memory to give it. I'm going to give it 4 gigs of memory. You can, if you have 16 gigs, you can give it 8. It's up to you. You don't have to do anything here. You don't have to do anything here. You don't have to do anything here. Oh, actually, you do need to do something here. I'm sorry. You need to do something in the drive section. So let's go back to the guide. And we're going to say import. And we're going to say disk image. But we're not going to use this one. Remember, we've not changed it. But we are going to use NVMe style. So let's do that. We're going to say import. I'm going to pick my QCal2 file, if you want. Now, you can use that Windows file, but again, it leads to corruption and issues, so skip the noise, use this. Right, I've selected the Win11 setup CCal2 file. Image type is a disk image. That's correct. Let's double check that to make sure. Yes, and we're going to change the interface now to NVMe because that's the type of image that was captured. And we click Save. And then you can ignore that error. Here you can see the difference is the one that's already running. That's the other one. What we want to do is also add that ISO for the Spiceworks. So I'm going to say new drive. I'm going to say USB. That's all fine. I'm going to make it removable. I'm going to say create. And that's all good. So save. See, it's empty, so I need to mount it still. So I'm going to click browse. I'm going to find that Spiceworks ISO. Well, Spice Guest, sorry. I'm going to say open. And that's ready. Now, if you click play, it will launch the setup for Windows 10. So I've clicked start. That's my Windows 10 ARM for OFS. It's going to do the whole boot setup. And from here, you can install Windows 10 like you normally would. I'm not going to take you through that procedure. It's pretty self-explanatory. You fill in your username, you fill in a password. My suggestion is when it asks you to go online, say no, you want to keep it offline. It's just much quicker to set up that way. If you need to, you can always take it online later. So I hope you guys find this video useful, and I will do more of these for the Linux flavors as well, so we can try and help the people on M1 Macs to also experience the course in the same way as the rest. I'm going to stop now.